However, I strongly disagree with the recently adopted law in Arizona. It is a law that not only...
Alright, so all those people in that standing ovation should be tried for treason under the most harshest punishment allowed for treason, whatever that be by law. I'm absolutely sickened by the political state in our country. Barack Hussein Obama is nothing more than a puppet, no different than George Bush. And especially the younger people out there, because that's mainly my audience, you guys need to understand that our freedoms are massively under siege, and there are a lot of things that I need to say about religion and race that I cannot, because then my channel would be deleted easily in the because even though what I have to say is not racist and is not necessarily anything biased against religion or any particular race or whatever, what you'll see is basically communism. And what you need to understand about communism, alright, and keep in mind, by the way, for all the communists out there, all the comments are moderated, so don't even bother to try the whole, psychological thing on me and posting griefer comments. That's not going to work. Immune. Okay? So anyway, what you need to understand by communism, it's not an actual, it's not intended to actually help anyone. It's intended to basically destroy sovereignty of nations. And that, for the people who use communism. And by doing that, what they do is they try to destroy the social structure. Anything that deteriorates the family structure and puts people into situations such as single-parent situations where people have kids, whatnot, where you have groups of people who are targeted because they are more socially and economically have a greater tendency to be socially strong, financially strong, and therefore being more so the backbone of the social structure and therefore the maintenance of the sovereignty of your nation. This is the same thing happening over in Europe and other parts of the world as well. And what people need to... I can't really go into the specifics until I get my website running, which is why I'm working very hard to maintain specific tools, because unfortunately communists run all the banks, they run the IRS, they run the Federal Reserve, they run all the media, all the television you watch, all the radio shows you watch. Even the conservatives have to watch what they say, because the communists have absolute control. And so, you're going to see things like they're pushing for a war with Iran, all this crazy stuff. And you have to understand the real power is not the president. It's the chief of staff and those underneath the president who are behind the scenes. So Rahm Emanuel is the chief of staff. I highly recommend going to his wiki page, scrolling down to the bottom, and looking at what the categories that you find. And you'll find a lot of all those other categories. If you go to, for example, let's say you go to Facebook's page on Wiki and look at Mark Zuckerberg, and you go down to the bottom of his page and you look at the categories he belongs to. You go to Google and you look at Brian Sigmy and the other guy, and you go down to their pages on Wiki and you look at the categories they belong to, and you're going to start noticing a very strong correlation. Now, this is only a correlation, so this doesn't mean absolutely no one or absolutely everyone. It means that there is a strong middle of the road correlation, which I'm not going to get into. Not until I have the freedom of speech protected over at my website. So anyway, yes, these people, they don't. The government is elected by communists, and they determine who is allowed. I'll give you an example. Ron Paul had to fight to be up there on stage with all the other Republican nominees to gain the running position. He was the only one who was not a neocon. Neocon is not a conservative. Neocon is not really a Republican. In fact, I don't really care about the Republican Party. I care about conservatism, and I'm partially libertarian. I'm not exactly sure where I fall in that line. All right, but basically, what you're seeing is a massive attack against everyone who's actually paying taxes, and I don't need to do so much hinting and winking. And our friends over in Europe, trust me, I know what's going on over in Europe. I know why they're not going to Poland, but they're going to Russia, they're going to Germany, they're going to the United Kingdom, they're going to the other smaller countries. And if you look at the correlation there, the reason why those people are going there, all right, is because look at the history. What did the United Kingdom do? They kicked everyone's ass, all right? Germany, they kicked some serious. I mean, it took the entire continent of Europe couldn't withstand Germany at one point, and you had to get the United States to come in. Russia, you don't invade Russia because Napoleon invaded Russia, Germany invaded Russia, they got their asses handed to them, right? So if you look at the political scenario over for our friends in Europe, and you can't criticize at all the people who are allowing this to happen over there. Well, this is YouTube. This is mainstream. I don't really have freedom of speech here, all right? And I'm not going to go into this if anyone private messages me, and remember the comments are moderated, so, you know, if I delete your comment, there's a very good logical reason why. It might not be personal, and if it's a communist post and you're trying to gray things out, then I'm a black and white kind of guy, all right? Things are either true or they're false, and you can break everything down to that. Anyway, so besides the fact that I'm now working, I've got a lot of things that I have to put in place to make sure that we as Americans, and also as Europeans, and people who are interested in the sovereignty of their own country, around the world, of course, are welcome to go to my website too, all right, have the freedom of speech without these people going in and trying to gray things down and confuse you guys. I've got things straight out up here, and I know what to look for and how to figure this out. And when my site's open, that's one of the things I'm going to be talking about much more openly, when I don't have to worry about getting my entire channel deleted because I spoke the truth. All right. Anyway, I could add a lot of quotes in here, but I'm not, because I'm probably limited on time. So I'm just going to say thanks for watching. Computer case review coming up this weekend, hopefully, and then some StarCraft 2, hopefully early next week, time permitting with my job. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.